Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Today, the Tigers return home after a successful road trip through Minnesota and Chicago. The Tigers winning 4 out of 7. The offense packed a punch. Tiger bats third best in the American League coming into play today, and they hope to keep it rolling here as they return home. It's a warm and humid day here in the Motor City. Glad to have you with us as we welcome you to Comerica Park. The Los Angeles Angels are in town. It's game 1 of this 4-game series featuring the Angels and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us for this matinee this afternoon. Ron Allen will join us in a moment. The Tigers hoping for some good things on this homestand, and by and large, they pitched very well on the recent road trip through Minnesota and Chicago. Today, Brad Penny will get the call for the Tigers, and as we flash back to July the 6th, Penny has already made one start against these Los Angeles Angels. The Tigers won that ball game 5-4. Penny gave up 3 early runs in that game, but really slammed the door the next 5 innings. En route to his 6th win of the season, 6 1/3 in that game. He struck out 3, gave up 4 runs, but the Tigers in the end would come away with the victory, and that's the plan here this afternoon as Brad Penny takes the mound for the Tigers. Tigers and Halos coming up. First pitch lineups in a moment, but right now we go back to the Call Sam studio. Here's Mickey York. Be back home. The Tigers hosting the Los Angeles Angels here this afternoon. First of a 4-game series this weekend. We'll check out the starting lineup for the Angels. Presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It's Eric Ivar leading it off for the Halos. He's at shortstop. Followed by Torrey Hunter and Bobby Abreu. Vernon Wells is cleaning up. Alberto Callaspo at third base. Howie Kendrick at second base. And a bottom 3 featuring Trumbo, Borges, and Mathis. The scouting report on Brad Penny here this afternoon is presented by Ace Hardware.
The majority of the pitches that Brad Penny is featuring these days are cut fastballs and also sinkers. That's the pitch that he feels like gives him the most success and the chance to win. He also wants early contact. First 3 pitches, he wants the ball put in play to allow his defenders to work behind him. And one thing he has done, partner, he's given the team a chance to win every time he's gone out there pretty much.
We assume he'll do the same here this afternoon. We also remind you, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, simply bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by Beaumont Health System. You've got Bosch in left, Jackson, he's in center, Dirks, he's in right today. Ordonez is the designated hitter. Kelly, Peralta, Guillen, Cabrera round out the infield, and Victor Martinez is behind the plate this afternoon.
So we're ready for baseball here this afternoon. The Angels decked out in their road grays with the red, the Tigers in the home whites, and Brad Penny starts the windup. Here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is bunted down the third base line. Tough play for Kelly, and he is safe at first base. Well, Ibar will do that to you. He's done it again. Leadoff man on for the Angels.
That's a nice job of bunting by Ibar. This ball's at the top of the strike zone, but look at where he catches the ball. He catches the ball right on the top half, and the ball goes straight down to the dirt. And that's how you bunt successfully for a base hit. You have to make sure when the contact is made, the trajectory causes the ball to go down. That's a perfect bunt.
And so Ibar gives the Angels their first base runner. Here's Torrey Hunter. And there goes the runner right away. Here comes the throw from Victor. The tag in time. What a tag there by Guillen.
Thank you very much. The Angels have come out aggressive here today.
Well, they wanted to test Victor Martinez, and Victor was equal to the task.
The key is Brad Penny gave Victor Martinez time to throw, and Victor very little exchange getting the ball to the throwing hand, and he threw the ball right into the runner, and a swipe tag by Carlos Guillen.
Nicely done. Good shot there of Ibar being tagged out. Here's the 1-0 to Torrey Hunter. Wave and a miss. He chased that one 1-1. Hunter batting .235 is just 6 for 47 since the All-Star break. That's it. Got 13 homers though. The 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 on Hunter.
Let's take one more look at the throw by Victor and how fast he gets the ball into that throwing hand. That's the key to throwing fast runners out that have stolen 20 bases already, like Ibar has. You see Victor put his head down. I think he thought he had him as soon as he let it go.
Here's the 1-2. Martinez came in at a little bit under 19% of throwing runners out. Avila has been the Tigers' best at 25%. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it's fouled back out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Penny's 2-2 pitch. On the ground to the shortstop. Right at Johnny Peralta. Hunter is out, and there are 2 gone. And that's going to leave it up to Bobby Abreu. Abreu is not having a good month of July. He is probably going to be happy to see August roll around. He's batting just .169 this month. .265 overall this year.
You really haven't heard the Angels talking about potential trades, and the reason for that is Mike Scioscia feels like with Hunter and Wells and Abreu, 3 guys that really haven't had good years, he feels like their best baseball of this year is ahead of them. Therefore, they're not really looking to add a bat as far as through a trade.
Well, their pitching has been so dominant. In fact, the Angels, get this, have gone 35 games this year in which they have not scored in the first 5 innings.
Really?
35 games.
That'll stress your pitching staff out.
Absolutely.
But then again, not really because their pitching staff is tremendous.
Here are Abreu's numbers by month. You see that he had a really big month of June, but only 169 here in July. Very dangerous hitter, though. And the 1-1. In there, a strike up with the right hand goes Brian Knight. He's the home plate umpire today. 1-2 on Abreu. Angels 2 games back in the West. And the Tigers come in, leading Cleveland by 2 in the Central. Penny after a long look with the 1-2. Missed it inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's kind of hard to really keep pace with the Texas Rangers. What did they run off, like 12 games in a row or something like that?
Yeah, they had a really long winning streak.
But the Angels, they are right there. They picked up a game on Texas yesterday. Texas lost to the Minnesota Twins. They're just 2 back.
That's going to be a terrific race between those 2 teams. Clearly, that's a 2-team race. And the 2-2. Of course, the one thing the Angels have going for themselves is they're in the race every single season with Mike Scioscia at the helm, and so they have plenty of playoff experience.
They pitch and they catch. And if they start to get some timely hits, they're going to obviously be right there as they are every year.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Abreu, just underway here. A warm, muggy afternoon. 79 our game time temp. A lot of rain in the Motor City over the last night. That's chopped foul. 2-2. The count stays on Abreu. How was your ride into the ballpark this morning?
It was a little slow. It was a little slow. Came down the lodge.
Mine was less than good.
Took you a couple of hours to get here today, didn't it?
Yeah, I ran into some streets I've never seen in my life, and I grew up in this city.
I started to call and check on you because I never beat you to the ballpark.
2-2 on Abreu, but we're here, and that's all that counts. And again, the 2-2 pitch, and he missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers, of course, winning 4 on the last road trip, 4-3. Really kind of a disappointing game yesterday because the Tigers certainly had a chance to win that game and would have been a spectacular trip then. But regardless, still a 2-game lead in the Central. Now the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball right side, and Guillen handles this one. That'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. First right here at Comerica Park, Angels and Tigers, game 1 of this series. Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Bosch, Ordonez at the top. We've got Cabrera, Martinez, Peralta in the middle. And your bottom 3 today is Guillen, Andy Dirks, and Don Kelly, both getting a chance to play. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Joel Pinheiro. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Joel Pinheiro is a sinker ball pitcher, but one of the things that he must do is get on top of the baseball to make sure he does get some sink on that pitch. He has had some command issues lately, and Mike Scioscia told me before the game today he has to manage the pitch count.
In the hole, the shortstop Ibar throws out Jackson, one gone.
And what I mean by managing the pitch count, he said way too many 2-0 counts instead of 1-1, 1-2 counts for Pinheiro.
Pinheiro faced the Tigers in L.A. the last time the Tigers were out there and pitched well. Mike Scioscia again has his team in another pennant race. Seems to be that way every single season. The longest tenured manager in the American League. There's a strike call. Brendan Bosch, the batter. Bosch batting .292. Here is Pinheiro's 0-1 pitch. And it's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We're talking about Pinheiro and how well he pitched against the Tigers back on the 4th of July. 7 innings, 1 run. Struck out only 1 in that game, but certainly pitched well enough to win that contest. A 4-1 victory for the Angels. Big swing by Brennan, 1-2.
Good changeup. Really good changeup by Pinheiro. He has a changeup, he has a curveball and a slider to go along with the sinker. But that's his primary pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Bosch. Pinheiro is 32 years of age, a native of Puerto Rico. He goes 6 feet, 200-pounder. He's had some good seasons in the big leagues. His career began with Seattle. He's also a product of Dave Duncan. In his days with the St. Louis Cardinals, Duncan helped turn him around. And the 2-2. He missed it low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bosch trying to set the table here for Maglio and Cabrera. And the 3-2 pitch. It is ball 4. Bosch gets a walk.
Let's take a look at the Angels defensively as presented by Tim Hortons. They have a tremendous outfield. They have 22 outfield assists. They basically have the equivalent of 3 center fielders out there. A couple of guys have won multiple Gold Gloves. As a matter of fact, Torrey Hunter has 11 of those 22 assists by himself. Really learning a new position in right field.
Yeah, because Peter Borges has taken over in center field, the fine young player that the Angels have. There's a ball outside to Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez, the designated hitter today for the Tigers, batting .235. The Angels have had a couple of young guys in the outfield. Mike Trout is the other, one of the top prospects in baseball. There's a ground ball hit to short. This should be 2. Ibar to second one, and the relay is in plenty of time. A double play. 6-4-3, 1 inning in the books. Go to the second. Comerica Bank, strength and stability since 1849. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by Arby's, try the new Angus Cool Deli Sandwich only at Arby's. It's good mood food. Cloudy, overcast day here in the Motor City. The Tigers and the Angels, a couple of teams that'll be involved in a pennant race this year, battling here in the first of four. Top of number 2, and it'll be Vernon Wells to start things off for the Halos. Wells, then Callaspo, and then Kendrick. Nice gathering here today, despite all the rain we've had. And a matinee in the middle of the week. Wells batting .218.
He did nice work in that series against the Tigers when they were out west. A .333 batting average. He played long ball and he drove in a couple. Also made a really nice play in left field in that series. It seemed like Angels outfielders were making a lot of really good plays in that series against Tigers hitters.
Well, when you have Wells, Gold Glover, and you have Hunter, Gold Glover, you got Borges, who I'm sure is at some point going to win one.
And that's what his manager believes as well.
Pretty nifty outfield. 1 ball, no strikes on Vernon Wells. That's rolled foul, make it 1-1.
And you want to pitch Vernon away. He loves to pull the baseball, and that's when he does most of his damage, when he's hitting the ball to left field. That's why the batting average is quite low for Vernon these days, because he's not utilizing right field at all.
Here is Penny's 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Brad has won 2 of his last 3 decisions, a win over the Angels and the White Sox. He lost in Minnesota on the last road trip, but 7 innings, 4 runs, 4 strikeouts, not all that bad. And the 1-2. 2-2 on Wells.
Brad must have felt awfully good 5 days ago, because he threw quite a few fastballs at 96 miles an hour, and we really hadn't seen Brad, at least with the fastball, get to that velocity this year. He was throwing hard against Minnesota last Saturday.
The 2-2 pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Brad has made a lot of starts during the daytime this year, but I guess he might feel a little comfortable today. The lights are on, a little overcast. Maybe it gives him a little feel of
a night game.
Yeah, a little later in the day.
It's just been just a really string of bad luck, I guess, for Penny to be pitching all these day games.
A lot of them.
You know, 1 or 2 sprinkled in here throughout the course of the year. I mean, you expect that if you're a starting pitcher. Here's the 3-2. That's rolled foul.
Brad was telling me before his last start that he's not a morning person. He said he really doesn't like to get up and eat breakfast. And he said some days you wake up, you just don't feel all that good. He said it takes him sometimes until noon or 1 o'clock before he really starts to get moving and starting to feel good, and then it's time to toe the rubber.
That has popped up. Shallow right field. Guillen going back, and he'll call off Andy Dirks. 1 gone here in the second.
But by and large, it's been a great sign. And bringing Brad Penny in, he did not pitch all that much last year. He was injured very early in the season, but with each start, he has gotten stronger and stronger, and they signed him to be the number 5 starter, but he's been awfully good. He gives them a chance to win every 5th day.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and he's gone at least 6 in every start since June 15th. So he's out there for a while. There's a strike call on Callaspo. Talking about all the day starts. 14th day start this year for Brad Penny. No balls, 1 strike on Alberto Callaspo.
Brad Penny said in the offseason the reason why he signed with the Tigers is because the Tigers told him that he would be in their starting rotation. He could have gone some other places, but the other teams that were trying to sign him, they wanted him to pitch out of the bullpen, and Brad did not want to do that coming off an injury. He wanted more consistency of the 4 days off, knowing that he was going to get the ball on that 5th day.
Slap foul down the left field line. Overall, Penny is going for his 8th victory of the season. One and two on Alberto Callaspo. And a chopper hit slowly towards second. Guillen on the charge, and he bobbles and has no play. Callaspo is aboard.
Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 47, Bobby Kendrick.
Slow roller to the right side of the infield on a curveball, which had Callaspo fooled and out in front. Carlos Guillen comes in and fields it, but can't make the exchange cleanly to get the ball to Cabrera.
And they're ruling that a base hit. So the Angels have their second hit of the afternoon. That'll bring up Howie Kendrick. And he looks at ball one inside.
He's having a great year, hitting over 300, 8 home runs, 34 driven in. And he's also getting it done on both sides of the ball. In the last couple of days, he's made a couple of dazzling plays for his ball club. Game winners, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, they've had to do some things to win some games, and namely pitch and play defense. Excuse me, defense, because this is a team that really has struggled to score runs. In fact, they've had 12 wins this year in which they've scored 3 or fewer runs, which, as you mentioned earlier, puts a lot of pressure on that pitching staff, but they've been equal to the task. 1-1 on Kendrick. And that's line to right field. Dirks drops it. They still might have a force. Couldn't get it back in. The throw to second is in time. Well, that's a goofy play. Callaspo, thinking that ball was going to be caught, racing back to the bag, and Dirks had enough time to get him.
It's a nice job by Dirks of knowing the situation and knowing the fact that Callaspo would not be too far towards second base. Take a look at him. He doesn't panic at all. He just comes, and he already knows what to do. Comes up and fires a strike to second base.
So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Trumbo. And they got the force quite easily at second base. So no damage done. Simply replace Kendrick with, or Callaspo with Kendrick down at first base.
4 for 11 against the Tigers in that series. This year, I should say.
Well, Trumbo with 18 home runs has really broken out of the scene here at the big league level. He had prodigious power in the minor leagues, but that doesn't always translate into the big leagues. And for Trumbo, it has. I mean, this is a guy that hit 36 home runs in the minors last year.
Still learning how to hit up here. And he'll chase some balls out of the strike zone like most young kids. Yeah, but they feel like he's going to be a really nice power hitter for a long, long time.
And he runs pretty well for a guy his size, too. The 1-1.
I was kind of impressed with him when we were in Anaheim right before the All-Star break. He sat on a breaking ball from Brad Penny, and he got the breaking ball and he flipped it out of the ballpark. I was watching him that entire at-bat. He didn't flinch on the fastballs. I even think I made the comment that he was looking for a breaking ball, and he got it, and it really wasn't a bad pitch by Brad Penny, but Trumbo's so strong, he was able to hit it in those rocks out in Los Angeles.
Here's Penny's 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's one thing for a young pitcher to go up there and sitting on a pitch. It is a whole nother ball game when you get that pitch and then you're able to connect and drive it out of the yard.
Well, the thing about Trumbo is that he's taken some of the best pitchers in the American League deep this year, including Felix Hernandez, John Lester, David Price. And Penny's 2-2 with the runner going. It's grounded foul.
Huge jump by Howie Kendrick off of first base. earlier in the game when Ibar was on, he led off with a bunt single and he tried to steal second base on the very first pitch. Brad Penny really gave Victor Martinez time to throw, and they threw him out. Victor would not have had time to throw Kendrick out there.
Kendrick has 11 steals. He's been caught just 3 times this year.
The Angels have quite a few guys with stolen bases that you wouldn't think would have stolen bases. But they've got a really athletic team. That's one of the things that Scioscia demands. You have to play both sides of the ball. You can't just be a hitter. You got to be a good defensive player too, and you have to be able to run the bases aggressively. The Tigers, on the other hand, have a slugging team.
Yeah, it's really a difference in styles, and I guess it has been for the last 4, 5, 6 years between these two teams. Tigers have always slugged, while the Angels have always utilized their speed. Runner bluffs this time, and Trumbo takes outside 3-2.
It's the difference in philosophies of the general managers and farm directors and farm systems. Angels like guys that run well. Tigers like power pitching, power hitters.
3-2. And with 2 outs, that means Kendrick will be on the run. And it's drilled on a line toward left field. That ball is up, and that ball is a fair ball. It's off the wall. This will get a run in. Trumbo will head to third base, and he is going to be safe there. He almost hit that thing out on a line, and they're going to argue it.
I think it's a home run.
Hunter Wendell said initially responded that no, that ball's in play, but Mike Scioscia is going to come out and argue.
It hit the foul pole.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so if it hit the foul pole, it has to be a home run.
Let's see.
Yeah, home run.
Well, they're going to talk about it right now.
They'll probably have to go look at it, though.
That's clearly a home run. So we'll see if they actually have to go look at the replay. But clearly it hit the foul pole. And so Trumbo, for the time being, is stopped at third base, but that should be, before this is all said and done, his 19th home run. We'll see.
Jerry Lane is the first base umpire, and he's the crew chief. That's Jerry Lane right there.
And they're going to go take a look at this. Trumbo hit a rocket down the left field line. It was just a matter of fair or foul, and it hit the foul pole. So they will review the instant replay here. And the Angels probably, once this is all done with, will be sitting on a 2-0 lead.
That is the last 2 at-bats that Trumbo has had against Brad Penny, that he's taken him deep on both occasions. In Los Angeles, it was a breaking ball, and here today it was a fastball that was inside that he pulled his hands in and somehow kept fair.
That hit the base of the foul pole. Mike Scioscia wasted little time in running out there and having a chat with the umpiring crew. So as they review this one, Angels have a 1-0 lead, and more than likely in a few seconds a 2-0 lead. We have seen a few of these replays this year involving the Tigers. This one, though, was quite clear.
Right through the hands, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was.
Whiff.
Right off the base of the foul pole and left, where it meets the wall. And again, Hunter Wendell said quickly went out there and signaled that ball was in play, but it didn't take long for Mike Scioscia to argue this one. And here they come. And the signal is home run. So Trumbo is credited with a 2-run homer, and the Angels have an early lead. His 19th of the year. Not too hard to figure out the distance of that one. 347 feet. It's 345 down the line. And 2 more feet to the foul pole. Here's Peter Borges. Fouls one back, 0-1. We gave you that stat earlier. The Angels had trouble scoring in 35 games. They hadn't scored a run through 5 innings. Well, they got 2 early ones here today, courtesy of the Trumbo home run. Lifted to left field on a line. Bosch reaches, can't get it, over his head. Borges streaking to second base, in with a stand-up double. 3rd hit of the inning now for the Angels.
Mike Scioscia was talking about Borges today, and he said he's a slim guy, but he's got surprising power and gap-to-gap power. He said at some point in time he expects Borges to get to 10 to 15 homers a year. He drilled that hanging breaking ball there from Brad Penny.
Well, Borges in scoring position now. Here's the number 9 hitter, Jeff Mathis. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Angels already in this game. Ball 1. Mathis at 183. A couple of home runs this year. Ground ball left side, base hit. Borges rounding third. They're going to try and score him. Here comes Bosch. Nope, he's going to hold up the throw. It's an RBI single for Mathis, and the Angels lead 3-0.
All this with 2 outs.
Looked like the Tigers caught a break on that drop ball in right by Dirks. They got the force at second, but it's been all downhill since.
Seeing-eye single here by Mathis. It's a cut fastball, 88 miles an hour. He finds a hole on the left side. Brendan Bosch has a very good arm in the outfield, but Borges, he might be one of the fastest players in the American League, and there was not going to be a play on him.
Top of the order now, Eric Ibar. Bunt single back in the first by Ibar to start the game. Ball 1. 3 runs on 5 hits for Los Angeles. Ibar was 0 for 12 in that recently completed series against the Indians, so he got something started with his bunt single back in the first inning. Batting .282, and he's ahead here 2-0, 3-0. This has turned into a lengthy inning now for Brad Penny. 28 pitches here in the second, and the Angels have scored 3 times. There's a strike call, 3-1. Ibar has been their best hitter with men in scoring position. His average .301, that leads the team. And he takes ball 4, so he's on for the second time, and the tough inning continues here for Penny. Bring Jeff Jones out. First walk of the game for Penny. Tiger pitching coach walking out to the mound. And Brad now has thrown 45 pitches overall in this game. There's the 8th man to bat in the inning, Torrey Hunter. He bounced out his first time up. Tigers already getting some action going in the bullpen as Hunter takes ball 1. Furbush is warming up in the Detroit pen. Now the 1-0. Bouncing ball to short. Should get him out of the inning. Quick flip to second for the force. Side retired. However, a big inning for the Angels. They scored 3 times. We go to the bottom of the second. The game presented by the Angus Third Pounder Deluxe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. You can also vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Tigers have some work to do now. They're down by 3 as Joel Pinheiro goes back to the hill. And he is facing Miguel Cabrera to start things off. Cabrera, Martinez, and then Peralta.
A lot of at-bats left in this game for the Tigers hitters, and Pinheiro's been giving up some big numbers lately. Although career-wise, he has been good against Detroit, regardless of the uniform that he's had on.
Pinheiro just 2 starts ago gave up 7 earned runs in a third of an inning at Oakland when the A's pounded the Angels. That's fouled back out of play. 1-2.
He didn't get out of the first inning in that one, did he?
He did not in third. 4 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned in that one. Gave up 11 hits in his last start at Baltimore. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Miguel. Good road trip for Miguel. Had 9 hits. There are the numbers on the last start against the Orioles.
No walks, no strikeouts. A lot of contact, though.
Whistled foul down the right field line. Here are the numbers on Cabrera's road trip. 346 with 4 RBIs in 7 games. Got 4, 5, and 6 up here for the Tigers in the second. High drive, hit a ton to center field. Gorgeous on the way back, still going. That ball is over the shrubs and gone.
Ooh, that's a big fly.
Oh my goodness, it's 420 to dead center, and Cabrera flicked it out. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a true bomb.
Tigers Tigers weren't all that good with runners in scoring position yesterday, but Cabrera, when standing in the batter's box, is in scoring position himself. That is one of the hardest balls and furthest balls we've seen hit here at Comerica Park this year.
Pretty impressive. Tigers had their first run. .428 feet on that home run for Cabrera. Here's Martinez. Victor batting .317, is 7th in the American League. And the 1-0 pitch. Scattered foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. That home run by Cabrera is his team high 22nd, and he now has 68 driven in this year. Pinheiro ready with the 1-1. Grounded foul right by Tom Brookins. 1-2 on Martinez. Victor also had 9 hits on the recent road trip. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers came into this one 3rd in the American League in hitting. Actually, to be technical, tied for 3rd. But they've been up there most of the season. Boston and Texas are the only 2 that have a better team batting average. From that standpoint, at least, they're 3rd. Two and 2 on Martinez.
Victor, one of the toughest to strike out in the American League. He comes in 6th toughest to strike out. Once every 10 at bats.
Rolled foul. Martinez getting the start behind the plate today as Alex Avila gets the afternoon off. Unless, of course, he is needed late in the game. Alex has gone out there just about every day. Done yeoman's work this year.
He's a gamer. Jim said he's going to have to watch him very closely second half of the year.
Soft liner to center right at Borges. And Martinez is out, 1 gone.
Avila caught every single day in Chicago, and it was quite toasty there. Hey fans, 15-game ticket packages for the remainder of the season are on sale now for as little as $210. Purchase now and receive a complimentary deluxe overnight stay at the Motor City Casino. Restrictions do apply. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
Now Johnny Peralta, who was absolutely red hot on the road trip. A .407 average on the trip for Peralta. A lot of that damage was done against the Minnesota Twins. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's also been a pretty good performer throughout his career against the Los Angeles Angels. Batting average well above 300.
One and 2 on Johnny. .320 average, good for 6th in the American League. Sunshine having a hard time peeking through the clouds today, but it's finally having some success here in the second. There's a bouncer to 3rd, deep behind the bag. Callaspo. Peralta is out, 2 gone. It'll bring up Carlos Guillen. Carlos back at 2nd today. Batting .306, is coming off the disabled list. Oh, and 2. Tigers get on the board here in the second, and the home run by Cabrera to dead center field, 428 feet worth. After giving up 3 in the top of this second inning. That's outside. 2-2 on Carlos. Came into this game with pretty good numbers against Pinheiro in his career, 5 for 12. Pinheiro signed a 2-year deal with the Angels. He won 15 games in 09 with St. Louis and parlayed that into a 2-year contract with Los Angeles.
Carlos Guillen, pretty good low ball hitter, and a lot of what Pinheiro features are balls that are south of the knees.
The count stays. Pinheiro in his first year last year with the Angels won 10 games, was 10-7. Make it 3-2. Angels as a team have an ERA of 3.28, which is the best in the American League. Here's a fly ball hit well to right field. Hunter going back, and he'll make the catch, ending the inning. Tigers get a run back, though. They do it on the home run by Miguel Cabrera. Number 22 for Miguel. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Online experience. Log on and take part in the most interactive forum during Tigers games with stats, trends, live Twitter feeds, and more. It's Fox Sports Game Connect, available at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Game Connect right now showing that the Angels have a 3-1 lead over the Tigers as we go to the top of the third here at Comerica Park, and a warm afternoon here in the Motor City. And soggy morning, soggy last night, but hopefully we'll begin to dry out. Here come the Angels now. It'll be Abreu, Wells, and Callaspo in the third, facing Brad Penny, who had himself a very lengthy second inning. .32 pitches in that second inning for Penny. Abreu is 0 for 1 with a ground out. And Brad misses outside, 1-0. Bobby Abreu just continues to amass big numbers. He has scored almost 1,400 runs in his career. The 1-0. And this season alone, Bobby has passed, get these names: Tony Gwynn, Andre Dawson, Joe DiMaggio in runs scored.
He's had a very good career, albeit very quiet.
Here's the 1-1. Lifted in the air toward left. Bosch camping under it. All the way to the warning track for the out. One gone. We go back to the studio now. Time for a game break, and Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Of course, the Mets in the post-Carlos Beltran era now. They traded him to San Francisco.
That's a good deal for the San Francisco Giants, especially if Beltran continues to perform offensively the way that he was performing this year for the Mets. And because they've got a great pitching staff, and that National League West is up for grabs.
Vernon Wells hitting with 1 out. There's a strike call. Of course, the Giants lost a pretty good bat in Buster Posey earlier this year. So they just got a little bit stronger in their lineup. We saw them here at Comerica Park, and we saw that they can pitch. Among the best in the National League.
I don't know what it is with the teams out west, whether it be in the NL West or the AL West. All those teams have really good pitching for the most part, but offensively, they struggle. Really struggle. Seattle, Oakland, the Padres. This Angels team has had its issues offensively.
Weaver and Verlander here on Sunday. That'll be fun. Jeff Weaver right now having a spectacular season for the Angels.
A couple of guys that get it done different ways, but the results are the same. They win and they dominate.
One and two on Vernon Wells. Bouncing ball to short. Peralta 2 steps to his left. Wells out of there, 2 gone. Penny is in search of a much quieter inning here, and he's got a good start going. 2 outs, nobody on for Callaspo.
And Penny is one of those pitchers that you trust if you're Jim, even though he had the rocky second inning where he threw quite a few pitches. Being a veteran pitcher, you just hope that they are able to settle down and really save your bullpen when you're playing the very first game of a 4-game series. You don't want to get in that bullpen too deep today.
That's exactly what he did on July the 6th when he gave up 3 first-inning runs, but then settled in nicely and went scoreless the next 5 innings. That's rolled foul. 0-2 on Callaspo.
And Callaspo, another one of those guys that's very difficult to strike out. Usually does something, either spreads out and just tries to put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Callaspo's come full circle. He began his career in the Angels organization, was later traded to Arizona, made his way to Kansas City, and now back in Los Angeles. And we knew a guy in Kansas City that when he was playing there was I guess a good hitter. Callaspo was a solid offensive player.
He's having a good year for them.
He'll step out now. 1-2 the count. And Alberto Callaspo. Average up to 294. Inside, backed him out of there. 2-2 the count. Soft line to short and caught by Peralta, and there's your 1-2-3 inning. No runs, hits, or errors. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Angels.
See the Bears on Monday night and the Super Bowl champion Packers on Thanksgiving Day for just $40 per game. Call 313-262-2011 or visit DetroitLions.com.
On our way to the bottom of the third here at the ballpark, Tigers and Angels, game one in this 4-game weekend set. The Tigers down by 2. Joel Pinheiro back to the mound facing Andy Dirks, who bats for the first time today, and he fouls it back out of play. Dirks didn't play a whole lot in the recent road trip. Pitch ran a couple of times in Chicago and scored the game winner a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, Maglio's bat has perked up lately, therefore that has cut into Andy Dirks' playing time.
0 for 3 on the road trip. Dirks has hit 6 homers this year. And the 1-1. Line to right field, base hit. Dirks turns that one around for a leadoff single. That'll bring up Don Kelly. Tigers have their second hit of the game. Their first was the home run by Cabrera. Kelly also didn't play much on the road trip. 0 for 4. Betemit saw much of the playing time at third base after he was acquired. Bouncing ball to first base, knocked down there by Trumbo, and nobody covering at first. Everybody is safe.
Trumbo will be given an error on this play, and Pinheiro was a little late leaving his pitcher's mound to get to the bag, and therefore Trumbo had nowhere to throw the baseball. Well, that is one of those particular plays where if you're Pinheiro, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that that play was going to be made unassisted by your first baseman. Therefore, he kind of got caught watching the action.
Now he's got the top of the order, Austin Jackson, who shows bunt. First 2 reach, a single and an error. And it's bunted foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jackson needs to make sure, if he is still up there bunting, that he gets the bat out in front of home plate when contact is made. And therefore, when you do bunt the baseball, it will end up in fair territory. That last bunt attempt, his bat was in foul territory.
And that's bunted foul. 1-2 on Jackson.
Let's take one look at the technique. Ball's down. You got to make sure you get down, bend your knees. Got it out in front, but ball had some spin on it.
Two and 2 on Austin. Jackson has hit safely in 5 straight. Tigers have an opportunity here with 2 men on, nobody out, tying runs on here in the 3rd. Jackson has been good lifetime against the Angels, .319. And he sends one on the ground foul. Gene Lamont, who picked it.
Yes, he did.
With the right hand.
Last couple of center fielders the Tigers have had good numbers against Angels pitching. Curtis Granderson used to wear the Angels out too.
Gino getting some time at Foxmo.
Yeah, he did. Got it from the side.
2-2 on Jackson. And that'll get away. Is it fired up? Thrown out to 3rd. He's out.
Great play by Mathis.
Picked it barehanded in the air and throws out Dirks at 3rd base.
It's a great play by Mathis, and probably Dirks a little bit too over aggressive in this situation. You almost have to be certain you can get there if you're going to take off. But take a look here. Picked it right out of the air and threw off balance and threw a strike down to Cayaspo, who caught him sliding by. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Saying they caught me on the hand. There goes Jim Leland.
Looked like he swung to the.
Austin didn't take any movement toward first base though after he was hit. Apparently by that pitch. Leland having a chat with Brian Knight. Big swing. Clearly held up in time, so looked like it hit him. First base umpire Jerry Lane coming in now to join in the confab. And Leland getting a little bit hot here. It stays a foul ball. And now he's been thrown out of the game. I think Leland's been tossed, or somebody else is maybe. Lloyd McClendon just threw his arms up in the Tiger dugout. Somebody's been tossed by Jerry Lane all the way from first base. And McClendon saying, who, me?
Jerry's got him, whoever it is.
And here comes Leland again, I think. He's getting off his seat. It's Leland that's been thrown out of the game. How about that? Well, Jim was just sitting on the bench. Apparently was barking a little bit too much for Jerry Lane. He's been ejected. Now the 3-2. Ground ball to short. Easy play there for Ibar. Just like that, there are two gone. He's going to bring up Brennan Bosch. Bosch in the ball game has a walk. And it started out like we might have something here, a single and an error. Then Dirks is thrown out trying to advance when the ball got away from the catcher Mathis.
Brennan Bosch hitting .333, 6 for his last 180 in his last 45 games. And that is good for 6th best in the American League.
The base hit. Kelly coming to third. They're going to try and score him. Wells is thrown to the plate. Not in time. It gets by Mathis. Bosch on his way to second. He'll hold there, and the Tigers get a clutch 2-out knock.
And that .330 batting average just went up a tick for Brennan Bosch. We told you before the game today that the Angels have 22 outfield assists. They have some guys that can really throw. Looked like it was going to be a close play at home plate. Vernon Wells in left field comes up and uncorks one, but it gets past Mathis. Very short hop there that he couldn't pick, and Kelly scores the second run of the game.
3-2 ball game. Tigers have the tying run now at second base for Maglio Ordonez. It's the third Detroit hit of the game.
And that's the approach that you want to have against a sinker bowler. You want to try to take him the opposite way.
That ball's hit to right center field, but run down by Torrey Hunter to end the inning. 1 run. Tigers get a couple of hits. Strand him in.
The Detroit area, then you are probably familiar with the very sad story of Wes Leonard, who was a basketball player for Fenville High School, and tragically, after scoring the game-winning shot in the regular season game, just collapsed and later died. A very sad story for the community in Fenville and for most of the state. And I'm here with Fenville's head basketball coach, Ryan Klingler. Ryan, obviously a hard time for you the past few months. I know the boys are all here today. I know Wes's parents are here. What have you guys been doing to try to heal over the past few months?
You know, getting the word out about sudden cardiac arrest. And the big thing we've done with the Leonard and the family and friends is create the Wes Leonard Heart Team, which is a foundation which we hope to, number one, raise awareness of sudden cardiac arrest. And then really our number one goal is to find a way to get the state of Michigan to mandate that we get AEDs in schools. Make it mandatory. Let's get our kids a whole lot safer if something like this happens again. And then we're trying to promote CPR training, AED awareness, AED and CPR training in the schools.
It's obviously a lot of good things you guys are trying to do, and I noticed also the armbands you have out that your team's wearing. I got one today, just one more game. Talk about this team. I mean, you went on to win the district championships, the heart, the passion that goes into playing the game and just playing for Wes.
Yeah, well, you know, that was Wes. Just one more game was what he'd tell his parents when they came to pick him up. And our kids wanted to play one more game, and they kept, you know, they got to play 3 extra games and win a district championship for Wes, for the Leonard family. The strength that our guys have shown and the Leonard family during that whole thing, very motivational to me, very inspirational, I think, to our community, the state of Michigan, and beyond.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. And I hope you guys enjoy the game today, and good luck with your initiative.
Well, thank you. Thank the Detroit Tigers.
All right, Rod and Mario, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Thanks very much for that story. And again, certainly our hearts go out to Wes and his family for their loss.
Absolutely.
And to the entire Fenville community, actually, that suffered a tragic loss this past offseason. 2-2 the count on Howie Kendrick, who bounces one back off the bare hand of Brad Penny, and the throw is going to be tardy, and Kendrick is aboard.
Do not know if Brad Penny would not have slowed that ball down. Would Peralta or Guillen had a play on Kendrick. Kendrick does have some good speed. Decent speed, I should say, running down the line.
It'll be the 6th hit of the game now for the Angels. That's going to bring up Mark Trumbo, who homered in his first at bat. 3-2, the Angels lead it here. Tigers have chipped away. They got one back in the second, one in the third, after Trumbo's homer powered a 3-run second inning. And Penny misses outside, 1-0.
Kendrick has 11 steals, so if you're Brad Penny, you need to make sure that you at least give Victor Martinez a chance to throw him out if he is given the go-ahead from his manager. Socia said no one on his team has a green light, although he has some really good base stealers. He said he determines when they run, and apparently he does a pretty nice job of picking some pretty good spots for his base runners.
Trumbo hit the 2-run shot in the second. They also got an RBI single from their number 9 hitter, Jeff Mathis. Runner going, and that ball is looped into center field and beyond, all the way to the wall. This will get another run in. Trumbo having himself a big game. He's going to take the turn and try for 3. There's a play, and he is safe. The tag by Kelly a little bit late, and it's a 4-2 ball game.
The last 3 at-bats that Trumbo has had against Brad Penny, he has gone big fly, and a triple. It's a fastball, a little cutter that really didn't do a whole lot. He got a really good swing at it, and with Kendrick on the move, there was not going to be a play on him.
So the Angels still in business here. A single and a triple. Nobody out. And Peter Borges fouled back out of play. It's the 7th hit of the game now for the Angels. Borges had a double after that Trumbo home run back in the second. He eventually scored. Ball inside, 1-1. Pulled down the left field line. That looks like trouble, and that ball is off the base of the wall. Another extra base hit for Peter Borges, who cruises into second with an RBI double, and it's 5-2 Angels.
And Penny missing his spots just a little bit here in this inning. Victor Martinez wanted that ball away, and you could see it kind of tailed inside on Borges, and Borges did a nice job of pulling those lightning quick hands in through the strike zone, and he hit that ball off the base of the wall.
Well, the Angels now have 8 hits, and there's still nobody out in this inning. An infield single, a triple, and now a double.
And the majority of the damage done against Brad Penny in this game has been done by the bottom of their batting order.
Five runs allowed here today by Penny, the most he has given up in a start since May the 30th. That was against Minnesota. But he also gave up 5 runs in that start on 10 hits. So Martinez and Penny in disagreement over something. Victor throwing his hands out, and now somebody's going to have to come out here. Here comes Jeff Jones. Penny and Martinez apparently arguing on the mound here.
Well, one thing that you never ever want to see, and that's 2 of your position players showing one another up on the field.
Victor, as he was walking out initially, had his arms wide open. And now Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, gets between them. Well, it's unraveled a bit here for the Tigers. A 2-run 4th inning, still nobody out.
Hey fans, when the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Call Sam studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit.
There's a show of bunt by Mathis, and he lets it go by. Mathis singled in a run back in the second. And there's a bunt. Pretty good one. Off the mound, Penny. Look out, almost a collision at first as Guillen takes a throw. Borges advances to third. 1 gone. Sacrifice for Mathis. Infield in now for Detroit. Here's Ibar. Popped him up. See if it stays in play. Looks like it may. No, just out of the reach of Victor Martinez.
Great effort by Victor. And of course, every time you head over to the opposing team's dugout, they're not going to help you until they see you start to fall, and then they will try to get up there to help you to make sure you don't hurt yourself.
That would have been a big out for Penny, but now he's going to have to go back to work here against Ibar. 1 single and a walk for the leadoff man for the Angels. Line drive over the glove of the second baseman Guillen. That's a base hit. Another run scores, and Ibar is on base for the 3rd time today.
He's their best hitter with runners in scoring position. He came in with a better than 300 batting average, and that just went up a tick.
That's going to be it for Penny. Lloyd McClendon coming out, and he'll take the hook with him as Penny gives up the baseball. And so the Tigers go to the bullpen. Wellside Windows pitching change. It is 6-2. Angels in the lead, and we'll be back. T. 5-hour energy fixes tired fast. One shot, back to work, problem solved. And by Gatorade, fuel that goes beyond hydration. Back here in the Motor City, where the sun is finally peeking through the clouds here at the ballpark. However, it is 6-2 in favor of the Angels here. 6 runs on 9 hits. Brad Penny is gone for the afternoon, and Charlie Furbush is on now for Detroit.
Charlie Furbush had a start against the Angels on the 4th of July. He pitched 4 2/3 innings against them. He gave up 5 hits. He walked 1, had 5 strikeouts in that game.
And Charlie will face Torrey Hunter. Still only 1 out of the inning and 3 runs in. The Angels have had a pair of 3-run frames in this game. Hunter is 0 for 2. And he has bounced into 21 double plays this year, which is an incredibly high amount. See if Furbush can get another one. RBIs in this inning for Trumbo, Borges, and Ibar. And there goes Ibar. Here comes Victor's throw. Not going to be in time this time. He caught him trying to steal back in the first inning, but Ibar is successful this time.
For a left-hander being on the mound, Ibar got a better jump off Furbush than he got off Brad Penny earlier in the game. I mean, he was off first movement. They guessed correctly, and there was really no chance for Victor to throw him out. If you weren't with us last half inning, I told you Scioscia pretty much handles the running game, and he tells everybody when they're to steal, and they pick the right pitch to go on there.
21st steal of the year for Ibar. He'll take the double play out of order. 0-2 on Torrey Hunter. Brad Penny done after 3 1/3 in this game. The first time in 7 starts that he didn't go at least 6 innings. The 0-2 inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Most runs that Penny has given up, as a matter of fact, since his first start of the season way back on April 2nd when he gave up 8 against the Yankees. But
really?
It's kind of hard to believe, but I guess the 6th spot, based on how Brad has pitched, and pretty much, he's gone out there 6-7 innings, given up 2, 3, 4 runs at the most.
I'll give him a mulligan. That much is for sure. He usually gives them a chance to win.
And this one's certainly far from over. Only in the 4th inning. A 4-run game. 9 hits for the Angels in this one. And the 1-2. Good stop by Martinez. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the Angels, you always have to be aware of the fact that they will steal third base as well. They have stolen third base 10 times this year as a team. Ibar has stolen third twice this year, and he has been successful on both of his attempts.
Toward right field, slicing away from Dirks. And back amongst the crowd. 2-2 on Torrey Hunter.
%. The major league average is 72%. So he is well above that. Ibar.
And the 2-2. Hunter fouls that one off at home plate. Torrey 0 for 2 in this one. Now 6 for 49 since the All-Star break. Only 6 hits since the break. But his 49 RBIs leads the Angels, or did coming in. Trumbo now has taken over that lead with his 3 RBI day. And he'll go foul again down the right field line.
Quite unusual to have a rookie leading the club in RBIs when you have a Wells and you have an Abreu and you have a Torrey Hunter on your team.
And Trumbo now with 3 today has 51, leading their club.
But it's also the very reason that Mike Scioscia feels like his team's going to be in the race until the end, because those 3 guys I mentioned, he feels like they're going to get better.
Hunter, meanwhile, continues to battle here against Furbush. Here's the 9th pitch in this at bat. Back up the middle into center, base hit. Ibar rounding third. He'll come around and he will score. It's an RBI single for Torrey Hunter. And the Angels starting to pour it on now. It's 7-2. So much for an Angels offense that came limping in, having trouble scoring runs this year. 7 runs, 10 hits, and we're not even through the 4th.
Yeah, they've been cashing them in today.
That'll close the book on Brad Penny. He's charged with all 7. Here's Bobby Abreu. Tigers today have been out hit 10-3. Abreu is 0 for 2. Ground ball and a fly ball. The 0-1. This should be a double play. Guillen, Peralta, and there's 2. A 4-6-3. So the inning is over, but a 4-run frame for the Halos. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-2 Los Angeles. bottom of the fourth, 7-2 ball game. Joel Pinheiro back to the hill. And he will face Miguel Cabrera, who took him deep back in the second. Cabrera, then Martinez, then Peralta.
Cabrera took him dead central, 427 feet from home plate.
There's a strike called, 1-1.
That's where the big boys hit him.
Shoot that one down the right field line. That'll get in there and roll to the wall. Cabrera going to second, and he's in with a double.
Anytime the ball hit the opposite way to Torrey Hunter, you better get on your horse. He has 11 assists from the outfield, and that's exactly what Cabrera had to do after slicing that double the opposite way. Close play at second.
Tigers have their fourth hit. Two of them belong to Cabrera, and both of them for extra bases. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Lined out to the center fielder Borges in his only at bat. 375 this year with men in scoring position for Victor. The Tigers try and climb back into this one. Strike called on Martinez. A couple of big innings for the Angels in this one. A 3-run second, a 4-run fourth. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pinheiro pitched 7 years in Seattle before joining Boston and St. Louis. Under Dave Duncan in St. Louis, where his ground ball ratio really started to pick up. He has scattered a couple of runs in this game, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and there's a ground ball, but it gets through. Base hit. Cabrera coming to third. They'll stop him there, down by 5 with nobody out. Tigers have something going now.
Station to station baseball is exactly what you have to play. You can't run into any outs. Victor Martinez surprisingly can climb the ladder and get on top of pretty good fastballs. That fastball's at 86, which is not overpowering, but the fact that he's been able to do that the last couple of games, climbing the ladder to get to some firm fastballs. Most left-handed swingers love the ball down.
5 Tigers hits. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Breaking ball is grounded foul. 1-1 on Johnny. 340 with men in scoring position this year. Peralta came into this one hitting .330 lifetime against Angels pitching. The 0-1. Ground ball, base hit left field. That'll get a run in. Cabrera scores. Martinez goes to second. Keep the wheel going, and it's now 7-3.
Pinheiro continues to pitch to a lot of contact, and he continues to get ground balls, but Tigers hitters are finding some holes with the ground ball. Victor Martinez went on the right side of the infield, and Peralta and goes on the left side of the infield.
So we'll see if Guillen can keep it going now. Carlos flied out his first time. There's a strike 1-1 on Guillen, who backs out of the box. Tigers now have gotten a run in each of the last 3 innings. They're back within 4 with 2 on, nobody out. Foul back 1-2.
We talked about the Tigers' 4, 5, 6 hitters after the All-Star break and the numbers they've been able to put up. Cabrera has a couple of hits today. Peralta has a base hit, and Victor Martinez. So the numbers continue to go up for the middle of the Tigers' batting order.
Bouncing ball right side. Tricky hop there for Trumbo. He'll take the out at first base, advance the runners. First out of the inning. And that'll bring up Andy Dirks. Tigers now a base hit away from getting right back into this game. They're down 7-3.
Dirks had a solid single to right field his first time up. One of the toughest things to do in the major leagues is what Andy Dirks and Don Kelly has to do. You sit for 5 days and then you get a start. And you're expected to have success.
And he's had success again. A base hit to center field. That'll get 2 runs in. Andy Dirks with his second hit of the game. And the Tigers are right back in it.
It takes a special kind of player to be able to slow the game down in RBI situations when you know you really haven't had consistent reps as far as getting at bats, but a really good day today by Dirks. It's a breaking ball off the plate outside. Real good concentration. The head stays down. It doesn't get much better than that.
Mike Scioscia has seen enough. And he's going to take the baseball now from Pinheiro, who has given up 5 runs on 7 hits. That'll be it for Pinheiro. Tigers right back into this one, answering the 4 spot with a 3 of their own. So we'll step aside as the Angels go to the pen, and it's 7-5 Halos. Los Angeles Angels, which leads us into our AT&T trivia question. Who are the 5 Angels to throw a complete game no-hitter? There have been 5 of them to throw a complete game no-hitter. Can you name them? A big day yesterday for Mr. Santana.
Santana has the kind of stuff that on any given night when he goes out there, he could do exactly as he did yesterday. Fastball 96 miles an hour with some really good secondary pitches.
Wilson Betemit is going to pinch hit here for Don Kelly. Horacio Ramirez is the new pitcher for the Angels, the left-hander. And Betemit takes ball 1. Tigers fighting back here. A 3-run fourth inning. Back to a 2-run spread now. 7-5. Bettamy batting .283. Drilled in the air to center field and hit well. Borges on the run, still going back. He'll run it down right in front of the warning track. And retreating is Andy Dirks. Bettamy is out, 2 gone. We'll bring up Austin Jackson. Ramirez called up from Salt Lake on July the 20th. Pitching in 39 games for their AAA team in the PCL. Jackson has hit the ball on the ground twice to the shortstop Ibar. Ball 1 as Mathis smothers it. So neither starting pitcher long for this game. Each taken out in the 4th inning. There is more activity in the bullpen for the Angels as we speak. Bobby Cassavell warming up.
Both managers having to go to their bullpen very early in this game in a 4-game series.
Jackson looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1-1.
And for the Angels, they don't really have to do it that often because that's the one thing that their starting pitching has given them all year. They've been going deep in games.
Strike called. 1-2 on Jackson, who walks out of the box in silent protest. Austin thought he was hit by a pitch in his last at bat, felt he was hit on the hand. It eventually led to the ejection of Jim Leland. Hit left field. Dirks on his way to second, pulls in there, and the Tigers keep the inning going as Jackson gets his first hit.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Jackson. Looked like a cut fastball from Ramirez that was running in on Jackson's hands, and he pulled him inside and hit that ball really sharp to left field. Not only in, but also down. A really good look at it in slow motion. Foxmo, I should say.
Here's Bosch. All of a sudden the Tigers have the tying runs on. The go-ahead run at home plate. Brennan on base twice in this one, a walk and a single and an RBI. Gets away from the catcher. Move the runners up. Ramirez fired that one in the dirt. Mathis couldn't handle it.
Mathis is a tremendous receiver and a really defensive-minded catcher, but he had no shot at blocking this ball in the dirt. No shot whatsoever.
Wild pitch. There's a little floater into left. Base hit. Dirk scores. Jackson the third. They stop him there. And Brennan Bosch has his second RBI of the game. It's 7-6.
Really impressive inning here by Tigers batters. Several hitters going the opposite way. Lots of seeing eye singles. Guys just kind of taking what the opposing pitchers are giving them. Unlike yesterday when Jim felt like his offense was overswinging all day against Danks, today guys are having some really good plate appearances and they're being rewarded for that.
Mike Scioscia making another pitching change. So Ramirez faces three batters, gets a fly ball, gives up 2 singles, and throws a wild pitch. And each team with a 4 spot here in the 4th. 50th RBI this year for Bosch.
Brennan Bosch, one of the reasons why the batting average is close to 300 is the fact that he has used the entire baseball field. 23 base hits to left. Not as pull happy as he was last year, and having a tremendous sophomore campaign.
Lloyd McClendon, who is acting manager right now with the ejection of Jim Leland. Also, of course, the hitting coach for the Tigers, having some final instructions from Aglio Ordonez, who will be the first batter to face Casava as the Angels have to go to the bullpen again.
And Casava's 10th appearance this year. He comes in with a 3.38 earned run average, logging just 13 plus innings, 8 strikeouts, 9 walks. 4 of the 6 base runners he has inherited have come around to score. There's a couple more out there.
Ordonez will be the 9th batter to hit here in the 4th inning. And he has the tying run standing at third base, the go-ahead run at first base.
Hey fans, on Friday, August 5th, swing for the fences during fantasy batting practice under the lights at Comerica Park. Hit pitches thrown by former Tiger Dave Rozema. It's 4 hours of major league fun for $249. Call 313-471-2550 or visit Tigers.com. If Dave Rozema is part of it, you know it's going to be a lot of fun.
So here is Ordonez now with runners at first and third. All of a sudden, the Tigers have 9 hits. Aglio bouncing into a double play his first time up, 0 for 2. And he fouls it straight back, 0-1. Tigers have Jackson down at first base. Bosch is at third, rather. Bosch is at first. And Ordonez trying to, at the very least, tie this one up. Ball low, 1-1.
Austin Jackson's left wrist is heavily taped. I guess it still must be giving him a little bit of a problem, but it's not really affecting his swing at all.
Jackson had one of the big hits in this inning, a single. Ground ball hit toward third. Callaspo has it there. His throw is in time, ending the inning, but a big inning for Detroit. They send 9 men to plate, score 4 times, and get right back into this one. One more time, who are the 5 Angels to throw complete game no-hitters? Can you name them?
Nolan Ryan will be on that list. No.
Yeah, he is. Threw a couple of 4 of them, actually. And you got Belinsky, Bo Belinsky, Clyde Wright, Mike Witt, and Irvin Santana.
Oh, Bo Belinsky.
Well, the Tigers back into this one now. It's a 7-6 ball game. Wilson Benemick will stay in the game and play third base for Detroit, replacing Don Kelly. He pinch hit for Kelly. And Chance Ruffin is your new pitcher for Detroit.
Only the second time we've seen a Chance Ruffin as we get a look at his minor league numbers. And if you weren't with us yesterday, we told you that Chance Ruffin was drafted last year in 2010, and there's only 3 members of that draft class that are in the big leagues, and he is one of them. Didn't take him very long to get here.
Vernon Wells leads it off. And he looks at strike 1 from Ruffin. Wells, Cayaspo, and Kendrick as we go to the 5th. 7-6, Angels lead. 13 runs on 19 hits between the two teams. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Of course, when Ruffin made his major league debut just a couple of days ago in Chicago.
Lifted in the air to center. Routine play for Jackson. And 1 out.
It wasn't the easiest of circumstances. It was the bases loaded, and he was facing Carlos Quentin as the very first batter he would face in his big league career. Quentin singled and drove in a couple.
Ruffin, they say, though, has the type of personality, and he was closing games down in the minor leagues that can brush that type of stuff aside. Cayaspo looks at a strike. His dad Bruce pitched in the big leagues. And Chance has some really good success down in the minors this year. 48th overall pick last year by Detroit. The 0-1 is outside.
He's got some deception in his delivery. You don't see a lot of guys with the real high leg kick these days, but he kind of rocks, and then he takes that left leg up and goes way behind the mound and kind of turns his back toward the hitter and comes at you with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
Slice toward left field. Bosch on the run. Can't get it up against the wall. Going to be extra bases for Cayaspo. He's in with a double, and that's his 2nd hit of the game.
In just a little bit of a short time that we have seen Ruffin, when he does get hurt, it's because the fastball straightens out, and it's about 93, which is pretty good hitting speed up here in the big leagues if you're not locating. He has to locate that fastball a little bit better. Here's a fastball that's up in the strike zone, and it's right over the heart of the plate. You can get away with some things down in AA and AAA, and that you can't get away with up here in the majors. And a lot of times in AA and AAA, you don't get away with the fastballs that are up in the strike zone.
Howie Kendrick, the batter, singled, scored a run in the 4th inning. Angels trying to get some back after giving up 4 in the 4th. It's going to be a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. Penny and Pinheiro have been knocked out of the game. Two and 1 on Kendrick. Howie making the All-Star team this year. The Angels had not had a second baseman make the All-Star team since Johnny Ray did back in 1988. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Really good breaking ball. Chance has a good fastball. He has this pitch right here, which is a slider, and he also has a changeup. Told me that he did not expect to use his changeup that often, pitching in the roles that he probably would pitch in up here.
And the 2-2. Roll toward third, foul ball.
Although today might not be a bad day to incorporate that changeup, pitching in the 5th inning. He's usually pitching real late, where there's little margin for error when he was closing games in the minors.
2-2. His dad Bruce was in the big leagues for 12 years. Phillies, Milwaukee, Colorado. Runner going, thrown out at third. The tag safe.
That is now the 11th steal of third base this year for the Angels team.
Just ahead of the tag, and a good look there. So Martinez caught Ibar in the first, but they now swiped a couple against him. And here comes Jones, the pitching coach. Trumbo coming up, and he's had a day, a 2-run shot and an RBI triple. So Jeff Jones making a visit out to the mound and talk with Chance.
Yeah, Jeff just wants to make sure that Chance understands what they're trying to do today against Trumbo. They have not been successful, but he wants to refresh his memory as to what he should be trying to do in this situation.
Trumbo got the party started for them in the 2nd inning.
Controversial home run in the 2nd off the foul pole. The umpires had to go inside and take a look at it before coming back out and signaling home run.
Only 2-0-2 with runners in scoring position this year. But again, a big game today, then tripled in a run in the 4th. There's a strike called on Trumbo. The Angels have 11 hits. The Tigers have 9. Trying to get a 2-out run in here against Chance Ruffin. Blocked by Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looks like the instructions given by Jones to Ruffin is to stay away from Trumbo. At least the first couple of pitches were away from him. Tigers pitchers have done nice work since Jones has taken over.
That's popped up. Shallow left field. And Peralta gets back there to make the play. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit. Man left at third. You're watching Tigers baseball today. It's presented by Bell Tire.
coming into the game for Don Kelly at third base, and he is one of the newest Tigers. I actually had a chance to talk with him before the game today. This is his first game as a Tiger here at Comerica Park. He said he's played here before, but he does like this ballpark. In fact, you might be surprised about what his favorite thing in the ballpark is. It's the Tigers on the scoreboard. He just thinks those are so cool, you guys. And he said it's actually been a pretty smooth transition coming to Detroit because there are so many Dominican players and Spanish-speaking players on the team. And he really knows Santiago as well as Valverde. So it's been pretty smooth for him. He says he likes the guys in the clubhouse. And so far, he's loving Detroit. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Yeah, so far so good for Wilson Benham. He likes the Tigers on the board, huh? That's kind of cool. There's some great architecture in this ballpark.
Beautiful. Beautiful venue here in downtown Detroit.
Cabrera leading it off here in the bottom of the fifth. Cabrera, Martinez, Peralta.
Tabby's had a great day. He's homered, he's doubled, and he's now grounded out to second base for the first out of the inning.
Howie Kendrick going on to Trumbo, and Cabrera now 2 out of 3, a 4-3 in your scorebook. He's going to bring up Victor Martinez. 9 Detroit hits in this game, and a good portion of those came in that 4-run fourth inning where the Tigers clawed back into this game. And Cabrera led that inning off with a double, then Martinez singled, and the Tigers were off and running. Victor is 1 for 2. Ball 1. Pinheiro started. Ramirez came on, and Casava in the fourth inning. He is out there again here in the fifth. Victor takes a strike, 3-1. Tomorrow it's going to be Porcello and Chatwood in game 2. Night game tomorrow. Belo and Heron on Saturday. Verlander, Weaver. Battle of a couple of guys in search of a Cy Young award this year.
Good pitching all week. Weekend, I should say.
There's a ball outside. Victor on again. Tying runners aboard for the Tigers here in the fifth.
There's a look at Weaver, but that start that Dan Herron had against the Tigers before the All-Star break was one of the better starts we've seen this year by a right-handed pitcher. He was lights out that day, and I think he opposed Verlander that day.
He did. Verlander lost, what was that, 1-0?
I believe it was 1-0.
Here's Peralta.
Sweet shades, too, by Dan Herron sporting there.
Johnny hits one back up the middle into center. Base hit. And the hard-hitting Tigers coming right back. That is their 10th hit.
Johnny is still on fire and continues to torch Angels pitching. Came into the game today with a .330 career batting average against Angels pitching. It's really fascinating the year that Peralta's had so far. Unbelievable.
Came in at .320, 6th best in the American League. 2 more hits and an RBI today. Here's Carlos Guillen.
Johnny real quiet too. You don't see him get up too high when he has a really good day, and you don't see him down too low when he's not had a good day. Just real even keel. And really that's the only way you can play this game and have a lot of success.
Ball 1 to Guillen. 0 for 2 for Carlos today. Fly ball into ground out.
Carlos has always been a really good big league hitter with runners in scoring position, and this year is no different. Batting average over 300 in the limited at bats he's had this year.
1-1. When you look at his career numbers, 282 lifetime with men in scoring position. Lifted toward left field on a line. Wells going back. And that's the second out of the inning. Carlos 0 for 3. It's going to make of Andy Dirks, who already has had himself a nice day. A couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. Big 2-run single as part of that 4-run fourth. The young guys doing it today for both teams. Trumbo with 3 RBIs. Dirks has knocked in a couple. Strike one. Oh, 2 now on Dirks.
Dirks has 6 home runs, but if you take a look at the outfielders of the Angels, they are all playing really shallow. They have 22 outfield assists, which is second in the American League to the Kansas City Royals, and that's one of the reasons how you can get assists if you play that shallow when there's runners on second base. And of course you have to have some talent too and really good throwing arms, and all 3 of those guys have that in their outfield.
Little chopper hit to third, and Callaspo will run to the bag for the out, and the threat is over. No runs, a hit, a walk. To the 6th we go.
He likes to play shallow. Here he takes away a base hit from Cabrera. This was before the All-Star break, but he also has the ability to go back on balls, and he also robbed Cabrera there, and he took a couple of RBIs from Cabrera on that play up against the wall.
Meanwhile, Borges in this game is doing it with his bat. 2 for 2, doubles, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Doubles in the 4th and 2nd. Chance Ruffin is back out there. Missed it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is really just the first full year for Borges in the big leagues. He came up late last year, was inserted into center field. He's still kind of learning his way, still learning all the pitchers in the American League. And once he really learns how to use his speed, his game from a batting average standpoint will be right around 300. He's at 271 as we speak.
Borges to be followed by Mathis and then Ibar. That's popped up.
He won't make any money up there, however.
Looks like they'll finally get him. And Bosch has it settled into the glove for out number 1. Let's go back to the studio now in time for a game break, and we join Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. The Boston Red Sox coming into play today and led the Yankees by 3 in the East. There's a pop-up behind home plate. Victor is out of room.
I also know that when we were in Kansas City, there were some grumblings and some people in the Kansas City Royals organization kind of wondering where Billy Butler's power had gone, but I guess it's shown up the last 3 days.
Well, is he a guy that you ever figured would hit a lot of home runs in the big leagues?
I think 20 for me. I think he's a 20 homer guy. Hits a lot of doubles.
Right. And that's what I remember about Butler. The first thing that comes to mind with Butler.
Every now and then a guy that hits 35 to 40 doubles a year, as they get older and they start to take better swings in certain situations, when they're ahead in counts where they try to hit home runs, the home run numbers can go up a little bit because Billy has really good hand-eye coordination.
1-2 on Mathis. Nice lid.
Yeah, it is.
Got a little string in the back and everything.
He's had that one for a while. That would be his favorite lid.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ruffin came on last inning for the Tigers. Pitched him through the 5th, now trying to get him through the 6th. The check swing, he went. See you later. Mathis doesn't like it. Ruffin has his 2nd strikeout.
Chance has some nice separation in between his fastball and his breaking ball. His fastball is anywhere from 92 to 94 miles an hour, but the breaking ball is 82. So you're talking about 12 mile per hour differential.
Here is Eric Ibar. It's been a big day for Ibar. He's been on base 3 times. He has knocked one in. Has a stolen base as well. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. It's an interesting race out west when you consider the 2 contenders, Texas, who will absolutely mash you to death, and their pitching has come on this year, and the Angels, who play a much different brand of baseball. The 2-0 is high, 3 balls and no strikes. Ibar trying to reach for the 4th time in this game.
You know, every now and then, you know, for instance, there'll be a team that changes from year to year. One year you got a power hitting team, the next year you got a good defensive team, good pitching team. The Angels pretty much the same. Pitching, defense, aggressive, base runner.
Yeah, they haven't
every
changed
year.
Much since 2002. Every season has been the same.
Since Socha's taken over, they have been the same.
Three and 1 on Eric Ibar. Ground ball, right side. It's through. A base hit. Ibar's on again. So they'll have to worry about him at first base another time. 4th time he's been on. By the way, this game today is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. It's the 12th hit of the game for the Angels. Hunter is 1 for 3, singled in a run in the 5th. And he looks at a strike. Torrey's played in 4 All-Star games, 9 Gold Gloves on his mantle. Much of that success coming with the Minnesota Twins. Bouncing ball to short. He's done that a lot tonight. Peralta bobbles it momentarily, but still has enough to get him. And the inning is over. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. 7-6 Angels.
Been somewhat of a wacky game today. It was a home run off the foul ball by Trumbo early, which was somewhat controversial. The umpires had to look at it, and then Jim Leadham was also tossed from this game, and he didn't believe he was the one that got tossed after a little bit of an argument over whether Jackson was hit or not, but he was run by Jerry Lane, first base umpire. Coors Light Freeze Cam, always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
All right, here come the Tigers now in the bottom of the 6th, down by a single run, 7-6. And it's going to be Wilson Betemit to lead it off, then Austin Jackson and Brendan Bosch.
Yeah, Betemit hit the ball sharply to center field his first time up. He was batting right-handed on that occasion.
Betemit pinch hitting for Kelly back in the 4th. His second at bat in this game. Strike on the outer edge, 1-1. Bouncing ball foul on the first base line. The moves are starting to heat up now. We saw some movement yesterday as a couple of teams made some trades in Chicago, where the White Sox traded Edwin Jackson. Carlos Beltran has been dealt from the Mets to San Francisco, and we're approaching the deadline, which will be Sunday at 4 o'clock. Dave Dombrowski has made it quite clear that Betemit is not the only trade that they intend on making. Hopefully they'll be able to strengthen that pitching staff a little bit more. Two on Betemit.
I was thinking about this yesterday. Edwin Jackson, and we were talking about all the times that he's been traded. When he does get traded to a particular team, the team that's getting something back for him, they usually get a pretty good player.
Swing and a miss.
The Tigers traded for him, what, Matt Joyce was in that deal, correct?
Yeah, which also makes you wonder if they're getting really good players in return. That means he's a good player himself.
Well, absolutely.
Why is he getting traded so many times?
I don't know. That's $1 million question. But apparently, general managers have taken the luxury of moving Edwin Jackson around like a chess pawn the last few years. But they have capitalized. They've gotten some really good players What's the pitcher that the Diamondbacks got for him from the White Sox? Big-time starter in the rotation.
Jackson looks at a strike. I got to look that up.
Daniel Hudson.
Yeah, Daniel
Hudson.
That's it.
And you got Joyce.
Good call.
Then you've got Heron. I mean, not Heron, but the kid Kobe Rasmus yesterday. So there's some really good players changing hands when Jackson's traded. But Jackson kind of reminds me of Teixeira. And Teixeira kept moving from team to team to team until he was a free agent. Then he was able to pick where he wanted to play.
Here's the 1-1 to Austin Jackson. Drops down a bunt. This is going to be a good one. Forget it. Eat it. Casanova does just that. Bunt single.
He couldn't have done that any better. Very patient. Stayed in the batter's box long enough to place it perfectly down the third base line, and no play for Callaspo or Casanova.
11 Tigers hits on that beautifully placed bunt single by Austin Jackson. 1 on 1 out. He's the tying run. Bosch has been on base 3 times. 2 singles, 2 RBIs. Trading guys has become so much more tricky these days because a lot of them have no trades or partial no trade clauses in their contracts where they can pick and choose where they can or cannot go.
True.
And sometimes you don't even hear it behind the scenes where a team may have a deal in place but the player rejects it. There's a ground ball. Diving stop at second. Kendrick, what a play. And Jackson will get to second, but 2 gone.
Howie Kendrick has been making some tremendous plays the last 3 days. He's making a great play a day, and it's helping his team win games. A couple of steps and a dive, and he gets to his feet in a hurry and makes the play to third base. Mike Scioscia said when Howie Kendrick came to the organization as a 20-year-old, he was really rough at second base, but really worked hard, and he's turned himself into an all-star by hard work.
Tying run now at second for Ordonez. And Maglio pops it up on the very first pitch, shallow left field. Ibar to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. Tigers get a man as far as second. We'll go to the 7th. And by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. Back here in the Motor City on a steamy day here this afternoon. 7-6, Angels lead. It's been a wild one. We've had 13 runs on 23 hits in this contest. And the Tigers going right back to the bullpen. Chance Ruffin is out of the game, and David Percy, the left-hander, will take over.
33rd game now for David Percy this year, combined 3 clubs, but the one number that he really has to work on, and that's the base on balls number, 25 of those in 33 2/3 innings. Percy's got a plus fastball anywhere from 93 to 95. He's got a slider and a changeup, although does not use the changeup that often.
And he will face Bobby Abreu to lead it off. Abreu, Wells, and Callaspo.
Nice work by Ruffin.
Agreed. A couple of scoreless frames, holding it where it is, and right now the Tigers down by just a run. At one point it was 7-2 Angels. Now Percy takes the baton, trying to hold him down here in the 7th. Abreu, one of 2 Angels that has not reached in this game. Vernon Wells the other. Here's the 1-0. It's fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike out of Abreu, who is now 20 home runs shy of the 300 plateau. Bobby's done just about everything. He's played an all-star game, won a Gold Glove, won a Silver Slugger. The 1-1.
Wasn't it Abreu that put on that classic home run display here at the home run competition at Comerica Park?
Yeah, 2005, the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I think he hit like 1,000 of them in the first round. I remember sitting in my seat thinking, okay, this is enough.
He's going to be tired.
Exactly. Let's bring the next guy up. There's a base hit into center.
I think Pudge finished 2nd.
He did?
In the home run contest here.
Pudge hit one out to the statues, as I remember.
Yeah, he did. They said them baseballs had a little extra giddy up in them.
And I believe it. I don't know what they did to him.
They was wound a little tighter.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
So the Angels now have their 13th hit, and here comes Vernon Wells.
Well, I mean, if you're Percy here, and you have to know the fact that Vernon's a dead pull hitter, and even if you throw the ball outside, if you sink it just enough, you might be able to get that ground ball to get yourself a double play to help you get out of this inning.
Wells 0 for 3, ground ball and a couple of pop-ups.
That's a good pitch. You start him in, you get him thinking about the inside pitch, and you get him to pull that hip and that front shoulder off. And that makes the pitches more effective for you going down and away against Vernon.
Inside, made him move his feet. 1 ball, 1 strike.
7 to right, and for Vernon, 39 to pull, 20 straight away.
Two and 1.
Vernon has one of those thumb protectors on his right thumb. A lot of people have been asking what those are regarding Magglio Ordonez. You see his right thumb, and what it does for hitters is it allows you to rest the bat on that particular protective device, and it helps you get the ball in your bat in your fingertips. And it also protects against jam shots. You don't get jammed on your thumb.
Again, he skips out of the box. 3 and 1.
I used to use those quite often myself. I love those.
That's what I thought the main reason was, to keep him getting jammed, but it's also to keep
it helps. Some guys have a difficult time of holding the bat in their fingertips, but by that being on his right thumb, when he does grab the bat, it automatically goes into the fingertips, and you get more whippage with the bat.
3 and 1. That's going to get away from the catcher.
Ooh, he wasn't close.
No.
What were they trying to do?
Well, a single and a base on balls. And that's going to bring Jeff Jones out of the dugout. So the Tiger pitching coach has worn out a track out to the mound in this game today. He's made quite a few appearances. And a tough spot facing the Tigers here with 2 on, nobody out. And while they talk it over, we tell you this. You can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Go and get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, whole lot more. You can text at BAT to 31826. Or you can visit Tigers.com if you'd like more details. MLB.com at Bat 11 app.
Callaspo is not one that sacrifices. But apparently Betamit on the infield at third is a few steps in front of the bag. And Cabrera also playing at the cut of the grass in the infield. But we'll see if he tries for the first time of the year.
He's showing it. And he takes ball 1. Ten pitches now for Percy. 7 of them have missed the strike zone. And he lets another one go by. 2-0. Fans getting restless. Single by Abreu, a walk to Wells. Betamit is on the grass at third. And again, he's showing bunt, and he lets it go by for ball 3. Yikes. Three 3-0 on Callaspo. Phil Koch warming up. And the 3-0. He'll take a strike. Callaspo made him throw it over the plate that time. Think that was a sarcastic cheer coming out of the crowd?
No.
No, you don't think so? 3-1 on Callaspo. And there's ball 4. He's going to load the bases.
And Victor might have to get up and go out and talk to him a little bit and maybe give Koch enough time to get warm and get into the game. And that's exactly what Victor's going to do. He realizes the situation. They're trying to buy a little time right now.
So Ruffin goes a couple of innings of scoreless baseball. And now Percy has come on as Koch warms up. He's given up a single and 2 walks. Just joining us here today, Lloyd McClendon, the acting manager right now. Jim Leland ejected earlier in the ball game today. And now you've got to deal with Howie Kendrick here with nobody out. Tigers today have been out hit 13-11. Kendrick had a single, scored a run in the 4th inning. It was an infield hit. Ball 1. That's 15 pitches now for David, only 4 strikes. Ball 2. And here goes Lloyd. He's going to take him out mid-batter. He's not waiting around. Percy will be taken out of this game mid-batter, which means Koch will come in and inherit a 2-0 count with the bases loaded, nobody out. And Percy departs the scene. So the Tigers down by a run for the time being, but the Angels are threatening. Here comes Koch sprinting in from the bullpen.
We had to put the stopwatch on him one night.
Took the words out of my mouth. He got there quickly.
Yeah, he did. Trying to catch his breath now. It is now time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And if you weren't with us, that's exactly what it was. It was a blast. 427 feet from home plate to straightaway center field.
As you like to see where the big boys hit them.
Yep, where the grass doesn't grow. But there's some ivy out there.
Well, Phil Koch now is going to inherit somewhat of a mess here. The bases are loaded with nobody out. 2-0 the count on the hitter, and Koch taking his tune-up tosses.
'23rd game prior. 24th game, Phil Koch has now been in earned run averages 4.57. The majority of his work this year was as a starter. In his last 7 outings, that earned run average is really good. That bottom note, 1.17.
So rough day for David Percy and Phil Koch, who last season for the Tigers made 74 appearances, which was third most of the AL. Finds himself back in the bullpen these days and trying to get out of this. By the way, for the third week in a row, the Tigers will be featured on Fox Saturday Baseball this week. It's Game 3 in this series against the Angels. Coverage begins Saturday at 4 p.m. right here, or actually on your local Fox station, which would make it Fox 2 in the Motor City. Right now, the business at hand is finding a way to get Howie Kendrick out here. Behind in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's a ball inside, 3-0. Single and 2 walks here in the 7th for the Angels. He's taking on 3-0. It's a strike. Hope needs a comebacker right to the mound here. Here's the 3-1. Rolled foul, 3-2. Kendrick has been one of their hotter hitters, 8 for his last 17. Trying to rebuild the Angels lead, which at one point was 7-2. It's now 7-6. 3-2 pitch. Little pop up, shallow right, base hit. And looks like it'll get 2 runs in, and it will. Abreu and Wells come around to score, and Kendrick delivers a 2-run single. That makes it 9-6.
Howie Kendrick gets a lot of hits exactly where he hit this ball. Inside out swing into right center field, drives in a couple of huge runs for his club.
And that'll be 14 hits for the Angels offense in this game. 36 RBIs for Kendrick, and still nobody out. Here's Mark Trumbo, 2 for 3, including a homer and a triple. Line drive, left center field. That ball is down. It's trouble. It's extra bases. To the wall it goes. Trumbo is on his way to second. He's going to try. Nope, he's going to hold up with a double.
What a day by Trumbo.
He's got the hard ones out of the way for a cycle. Double, triple homer. 11-6, 2 more runs in. A 5 RBI day for Trumbo, who was entertaining thoughts of going to third, but he was held up. Now Peter Borges. How about 7, 8, 9 in their lineup today?
They've been getting it done.
Popped up. Shallow right field. Guillen calling for it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first out of the inning. Now Mathis. Angels today with 2 4-run innings and a 3-run inning. They've done their scoring in bunches, and they lead 11-6. Mathis has an RBI hit and a sacrifice. He bunts. Betemit barehanding, no play.
They're relentless.
Their catcher bunting for a base hit.
Relentless.
"16 Angels hits."
Perfectly done by Mathis.
Trumbo at third base, Mathis at first.
Trumbo's a large man. Did you see how he was towering over Dino Evil, the third base coach down there?
Dino's no giant.
But still, though.
I think I'm taller than Dino.
But he just towered over him.
Here's Ibar. There's the strike. There's Dino.
See if he gets near him again.
He didn't have to. Oh, there he goes. A foot taller. Now the 0-1. Bouncing ball to short. Johnny fires to second. Relay not in time. That'll get another run in.
Carlos always has to be weary of that base runner coming in at second base. I don't know if you guys remember, but I believe that's how Carlos' season pretty much ended last year when Brett Gardner slid in aggressively to second base.
Yeah, mid-August.
Yeah, he now uses that bag to protect himself the best he can. You see the bag? He's behind the bag, and he makes the base runner slide over the bag to try to protect himself, but Mathis was still able to clip him.
So here is Torrey Hunter. As the Angels bat around here in the 7th inning, they have scored 5 runs to break it open 12-6.
You have to be creative at second base. These Angels are aggressive, aren't they?
They keep coming at you.
And everything they do.
I think you used the perfect word, relentless. Now to 1-0 to Torrey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Abreu had a single to start the inning. Then Percy walked 2 batters to load him up. He went to 2-0 on Kendrick. Lloyd McClendon took him out of the game. And they've gone on to score 5 times. Here's the 1-1. Bouncing ball to third. Betemit has it in fair territory. Off balance throw is scooped at first base. 9 men at the plate. 5-run frame for the Halos. Stretch time here at Comerica.
on the first base side. Tom Ouellette and his family are here from Farmington Hills, and we've been talking about it is a little sticky out here today, but there's just nothing like an afternoon baseball game at Comerica Park, huh?
This is a perfect day. 35,000 fans are supporting us. You don't need a doctor's excuse. You don't need your teacher to let you know you're skipping school. Come down the ballpark, enjoy baseball, walk the streets, get a meal, and be proud of Detroit.
I think that's a good way to put it. So there are, I'm sure, people here that may be playing hooky from work, but we're not going to point them out.
No, we're not. No.
All right, Rod and Mario, I'll send it back to you.
Shannon, thank you. Well, the Tigers hopefully can just generate some more offense here. They're down 12-6. A lot of rain overnight, a lot of rain this morning, but the rain is held off today, fortunately, for the 33,000 plus fans taking in day baseball here. Cabrera, Martinez, Peralta facing a former Tiger, Fernando Rodney. Bouncing ball, shortstop side, easy hop for Ibar.
Fernando Rodney, fresh off the disabled list. He has pitched in 27 games so far this year. He comes in with a 2-3 record and 10 holds for the Angels, and the numbers against right-handers are very good. Right-handed batter is 125 against Fernando.
Still got the crooked hat. Tilted off to the side.
Yes, he does.
And Fernando now will face Victor Martinez.
I remember Mike Butcher. He's the pitching coach of the Los Angeles Angels, telling me last year.
It's popped up. Left side of the infield. Callaspo.
That when they were looking for a free agent pitcher last year, the one thing that he remembered about Fernando Rodney in his last year with the Detroit Tigers is that he was one of the only players to hit 100 miles per hour on the Angels' gun out in Anaheim. And he says they have a true gun. And when the recommendation was made to possibly signing Fernando Rodney, that's the one thing that he remembered, and they went out and signed him.
Well, Fernando had an opportunity to close games earlier this year. He saved 3 but lost that job, which has now gone to a rookie, Jordan Walden, who has saved 24 for the Halos. Johnny Peralta has 2 more hits today. Johnny up to 323 now. The 1-0 is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Both starters have long since departed this game. Pinheiro and Penny. The difference in this one right now, a 5-run 7th for Los Angeles. Ground ball, third base side, foul. Still can't get used to calling them Los Angeles.
You still call them Anaheim every now and then?
Every now and then I do. I mean, they were California when I first joined the Angels in '95, and they changed to Anaheim, and then Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Los Angeles Angels. For all the name changes, Mike Scioscia's been pretty constant. 2-1. Roll to third base, deep behind the bag. Callaspo got him by step. And the inning is over. Tigers go 1-2-3. We're on our way to the 8th. 12-6 Halos. There is our Comerica game summary tonight, or today as it is. The Angels on top of the Tigers 12-6. Jim Leyland ejected from this game. The Tigers 4, 5, and 6 hitters doing their job today, but Mark Trumbo has had a huge game for the Angels. And he's got 5 RBIs, as a matter of fact, and they lead 12-6. Phil Koch answers the bell here as we go to the 8th inning. Bobby Abreu leads it off, and he takes strike 1. Abreu and then Wells and then Callaspo, the same 3 that started things off in the 7th inning. 1 for 4 today for Abreu. One ball, 1 strike. But outside, 2-1. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but tomorrow on tap here at the ballpark, Porcello and Tyler Chatwood for game 2. 4-game set. Tigers getting the best the West has to offer on this homestand. Texas coming to town after the Angels leave. So while the Tigers are back home and they had a pretty good road trip, it's going to be a pretty good test on this homestand.
Well, you want to make sure your pitching kind of stays intact, but it's kind of gotten out of whack here today for both clubs, really. But it'll probably sort itself out by the time the weekend rolls around. When you've got Herring and Weaver and Verlander, 3 of those 4 going in that weekend games.
A whole lot of wins between them. Look out. Abreu spinning away, 3-2. August is almost upon us. Final 2 months of the baseball season. And the 3-2 toward left field. Foul ground. And Bosch can't get there. It's out of play.
How about you over the years? Has there been a time of the year where a team's in contention that you feel like, you know what, this is for real and this team has a legitimate shot, whether it be the Tigers or any team?
I've always felt it's around this time, the trading deadline. I think, you know, that's when teams make their decisions. Are we going to go for it or are we going to try and retool? And I think that's kind of a signal as to where an organization is.
Right.
And so for me, this is the time of year.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know a lot of folks really don't truly start paying serious attention to that until maybe, I don't know, mid-August, late August. I don't know. Where do you fall on that?
I'm about an August 1st guy. I know Jim has said that too. I mean, I know he's made the comment several times, we're not even to August yet. And I think that's true with a lot of managers.
High fly ball, center field. Jackson cruising over. 1 out.
Tigers are poised for a pretty nice stretch run, though, from a health standpoint. And there's no issues there. They got Carlos Guillen back. Maglio's perked up a bit. They do want to make an addition to their starting rotation. If they're able to do that, they have just as good a chance as any team in the American Central to capture that crown.
I agree. Just compare this feeling this year as opposed to last year when all the injuries hit. And it was hard for the Tigers to combat that. Betemit on the high hop. 2 gone. Wells retired. That'll bring up Callaspo. Single, double, and a walk for Callaspo and a steal. Batting .296, the former Kansas City Royal. Ball outside, 1-0. I know they're talking about in future years perhaps of expanding the playoffs and maybe adding another team or 2. What do you think about that?
I like that idea. I like the idea. Get as many teams in as you can.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't become what the NBA and the NHL have, where just about most teams get in.
I think right now in MLB, the fewest amount of teams get to the postseason. Just 8.
Yep. And get back out of play.
The wild card has been a huge hit since '95.
Both of the skippers in this series, Mike Scioscia and Jim Leyland, although Leyland has been ejected today technically, but both of the managers on that panel that Bud Selig has put together to try and improve the game. They talk about all the different ideas that they have on improving the game.
And I think when the
was a base hit,
Angels won their world championship, they got in as the wild card.
They did. And the Tigers got to the World Series in '06. So did the Cardinals, didn't they? It's a wild card.
So everybody's kind of in favor of that.
Well, Mike Scioscia certainly has a lot of experience, as does Jim Leyland. So those two definitely belong on that panel by Bud Selig. Tony La Russa, Joe Torre, other gentlemen that have had managerial experience that have been on that panel as well.
Scioscia does a lot in the community in Southern California. From a baseball standpoint, he is heavily involved with the Urban Baseball Academy there. And I was talking to him before the game today, and he didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time, but my son Andrew was the most valuable player of the collegiate all-star game a couple of weeks ago in Glendale, and Scioscia was there. He was interviewed and everything. He said he didn't put 2 and 2 together, but he does a lot out there with that particular summer league. It's a good summer league out there. It's nice to have someone like Scioscia heavily involved in it.
Jackson on his horse runs this one down, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We travel to the bottom of the game. On in this series with the Angels leading it. As we look at the remaining schedule for both of these teams, you can see they have well, it looks like the easiest schedules remaining of the teams that are contending. Opponents winning at a 477 clip for the Tigers. For the Angels, 492 along with Cleveland. So it'll be interesting the next 2 months of the season. Of course, the Angels battling the Rangers out of the West. 2 really good teams. And Scott Downs will take over now for the Halos.
Quietly, Scott Downs, because he pitches out west, has had one of the best years of any reliever in baseball. I mean, take a look at those numbers.
Lefty's batting just $170 against him. The back end of the Angels bullpen has been really good. Of course, Walden taking over the closer spot we mentioned earlier. He's done good work. Swing and a miss by Guillen. Carlos, then Dirks, and then Bedamit. 12 runs, 17 hits today for the Angels. Tigers 6 runs, 11 hits. Here's the 0-1. Get back out of play. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Downs now 35 years old. He hails from Louisville, Kentucky. That's where he was born. Lives in Lexington.
He was in Toronto last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, Toronto since 05 to be exact.
Nice pickup for the Angels.
67 appearances last year for the Blue Jays. Bouncing ball right side. Kendrick. And 1 gone. His first big league season was 2000 when he broke in with the Chicago Cubs. Spent some time with the Montreal Expos as well. Andy Dirks having a nice day. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs, runs scored. Andy helped bring the Tigers back in the 4th inning. They were down 7-2. Had a 2-run single in that frame. The Tigers scored 4 times. They got it back to within 1, but then the Angels scored 5 in the 7th. And they used a couple of walks early in that inning to propel themselves. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Dirks now 19 RBIs in his part-time play for the Tigers. Two and 1. Three balls, 1 strike. Each team has had to go deep into the pen here today. They've got Downs and Rodney, Ramirez, Casaba. Fouled off. 3-2 on Dirks. Bedamit will be next. And the 3-2 in the air. Center field. Borges runs it down to the gap.
Well, anything that stays up for any length of time with this outfield trio, it's going to get caught. Wells, Borges, Hunter.
They've had Mike Trout, the rookie, as well, break in this year, and they say that he has terrific speed as well and a good defender. Bedamit looks at strike 1. Wilson, with a couple of at-bats in this game, came out as a pinch hitter for Kelly back in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. The 0-1. Driven deep in the air to left field, way back. This ball is up, and that ball is gone. Wilson Bedamit drills one to the seats in left. His first homer as a Tiger. Tigers get one back. It's 12-7.
It's only the second home run that Downs has given up this year. Looked like a little big looping breaking ball that kind of rested quietly right around the belt buckle of Wilson Betemeet, and he just drilled it.
395 feet on that home run for Betemeet, his 4th of the year overall. And Jackson looks at a ball low. Tigers now had 12 hits, 17 for the Angels today. Austin has had a couple of hits in his last 2 at-bats, one single back in the 6th inning. The 2-0 from Downs. 3-0. Downs was basically a starter in his days with both Chicago and Montreal. And once he got to Toronto, they used him heavily out of the bullpen. In fact, one year, 2007, he appeared in 81 games. Jackson skies one to center field. Gorgeous on his horse. Still going back on the run. Looks up. It's off the wall. Jackson will go to second with his 3rd hit today.
That's a home run in just about every other ballpark in the United States, but not here at Comerica Park. This ball absolutely drilled a little two-seam fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, and Jackson can't hit a ball any further than that. That ball hit the wall on the fly.
The Tigers now have 13 hits. Confab on the mound now. Like Butcher coming out, they have a chat with Downs.
Downs unaccustomed to pretty much pitching in games where his team is winning by 6 runs. I don't know if you equate it as the same as a closer, where closers come in pitching when they have a big lead or losing well, but I don't know. He's given up a few hard hit balls in this inning.
So here's Bosch to try and keep it going. Walden, their closer, tuning up, and there's a strike right at the knees. Home run for Betemeet, double for Jackson. Pretty good day today for Brennan. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. He's also walked. Ground ball right at the first baseman Trumbo, and that will end the inning. Tigers get a run back. 8 in the books as we go to the 9th. 12-7. Race looks like this. Pittsburgh's still hanging around. A game and a half out. They have been one of these surprise teams in the major leagues this year. Tigers have a new pitcher, and his name is Joaquin Benoit.
Joaquin Benoit's pitched some pretty good baseball for the better part of the last month or so. He's pretty much got that earned run average manageable, and it's still creeping its way down. But he struck out 33 and 37 innings against just 9 walks. And the key to Joaquin turning his season around is he's starting to spot that fastball at 94 to 96 on the corners, and the changeup and the breaking balls have been good pitches for him as well.
So Mark Trumbo is going to lead things off here in the 9th inning. Trumbo, Borges, and Mathis, the bottom 3 in Mike Scioscia's lineup, but they've done a whole lot of damage in this game. First pitch in for a strike.
Trumbo a single from the cycle.
He is that. He had the double in the 7th, the triple in the 4th, the homer his first time up, which hit the foul pole and left. They had to take a look at it on the replay. And the 0-1. There's a ground ball to short. And Peralta throws it out. No cycle for you. Had to bring up Peter Borges. Had 30 hits in this game. 17 for the Halos, 13 for Detroit. Borges, couple of doubles and an RBI. That's 7 RBIs from their bottom 3 hitters today. Popped up into right field, shallow. Dirks under it. 2 gone. And now Jeff Mathis. Tigers have Ordonez, Cabrera, Martinez due up when we get to the bottom of the 9th. Two for 3 for Mathis, who's done nice work. He's had a bunt single. He's sacrificed. He has knocked one in with a single. Strike 1. But outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mathis fouls one back. Oh, look out, partner. Couple of inches from dropping into the booth.
It sure was, and you know I was getting out of the way of that bad boy.
Notice you came to my side.
I'm smart.
You're hearing it now from the crowd, by the way.
Oh, the crowd can have that too. No chance.
1-2. Checked it. Did not go. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mathis.
How many have we had up here in 9 years? 1, maybe 2?
Well, the one last year that blew my headsets up. I remember that one.
When you're trying to get out of the way.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get out of the way.
Trying to get out of the way, I stepped on my cord, which just blew my headsets up. I'd say probably 2, maybe. That's about it. And for that, we're thankful. Swing and a miss, and Benoit has himself a 1, 2, 3 inning. Well, let's go to the bottom of the 9th. 12-7 Angels. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free and home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning here at Comerica Park. A 12-7 lead for the Angels. 12 runs, 17 hits for the Halos. Tigers 7 runs, 13 hits. And the Tigers down to their final swings in this game. And they'll face Jordan Walden.
24 saves this year for Walden. He has blown 7, but you're going to have that when you have a very young closer, but he does have power stuff. As a matter of fact, his fastball will get up to 100 miles an hour.
So it's pretty simple. Tigers need 5 runs here. They've got the meat of their lineup coming up. Ordonez, Cabrera, Martinez, and then Peralta, perhaps. And the rookie Walden steps to the hill. Maglio has had a note for 4-day today. And he looks at ball 1. Maglio taking all the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Porcello tomorrow for the Tigers in game 2 in the series. It's outside. 2-1 the count. Facing Tyler Chatwood. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. 2-2 on Maglio Ordonez. Outside. 3-2 the count. Walden went to college at Grayson County College, which I believe is the same college that produced John Lackey, the former Angel. There's a fly ball right field, foul ground. Going to be a tough play. If anybody can get there, they can't. Falls between a trio of Angels. Green 2. Thank you very much, Tori.
Made her day. She got her own little old English D going there.
She does. Driven to right field, right at Hunter. So Maglio 0 for 5 today. Hit that one hard, though, right at Torrey. 1 gone, and here is Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera got the Tigers on the board back in the second when they were down 3-0. He homered to dead center field. He's also doubled and scored in the game. He shoots one foul back out of play. 0-1. Angels 2 outs away from winning their 58th of the year, trying to keep the heat on Texas. Tigers came in 2 up on the Cleveland Indians. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Indians had the day off. And the 2-1. Fouled away again. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Miguel Cabrera.
Most days when you score 7 and you get 13 knocks, you're going to win those games. But too many crooked numbers up there put up by the Angels. They scored 3 in the second, 4 in the 4th, and a 5 spot in the 7th.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Cabrera. Walden has his first strikeout. 2 away. Gonna leave it up to Victor Martinez. Victor has a single and a walk in this game. And Walden trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Fouled back 0-1. There's a strike called. No balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. Walden 1 strike away from closing this one down. Fly ball hit well, left center field. This ball traveling out to the wall and caught right up against the wall by Vernon Wells to end the ball game. Martinez hit it hard but falls a tad short, and the Angels pound out 17 hits today, and they go on to beat the Tigers 12-7. Chalk this up to one of those days, I suppose.
Yes, indeed.
So the Angels take game 1 in this 4-game series. Back with more from Comerica Park.